Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. My name is Ord, and with me is the Rift Kings. We are hailing from Base Trade via Map Control Co., and we have for you today a game between the Red Zerg Liquid's Snute, which is apparently the correct pronunciation.
And his opponent in the lower left corner of the map, it's the Blue Terran. Play for Western Wolves, it is Morrow. And yeah, we've always had this discussion anytime we have to cast Snute in a game. And the thing is, like, when you spell your name in a way that kind of looks like the word flute, and expect people not to pronounce Snute, I don't know, man.
Where's he from anyway?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I do know that he's now in Team Liquid, as we see by his name. And I gotta say, I'm so glad they picked him up, because I know Snoot's a European player, but I feel like for a long time, he was a really good player that didn't get a whole lot of recognition. He made a big sort of breakout when it came to, I think it was like a Home Story Cup. You know, kind of splashed on the scene there big time, and then Team Liquid picked him up following suit. So I'm really glad to see that he's kind of had a lot more tournament success since then. I mean, whether it's just weeklies or what have you.
Last year he had a really good turnout at WCS. He did really well, and then most recently winning I-48 over some Koreans like 4GG and etc. And this game is actually post that victory. It's from the middle of March, so about a week old if you're watching this beginning of April when we're recording it. Hi there from the past.
Yeah, this is not gonna work when people tune into like this VOD from like a year later. They're like, a week ago, what? I don't understand. But okay, Ord, so it's TVZ. I already know how I think this matchup's gonna go. Mutal, bait, lane, bait. Bleh. How about you?
Yeah, I feel like we're probably going to see some Reapers and then some drops in the mid game, and there goes the racks. Morrow going with the command center first, a little bit bold. Snute is going to see it, and you know, it's not that bold because more than likely on this map, your Zerg opponent's going to go hatch first. And that's what he did. He's got Pool on the way too, but I feel like probably Morrow will be a little bit greedy and just go with like a Reaper, slower build time. Not as slow as Wings of Liberty, but still slower than a Marine and a Bunker combination.
I really like Reapers, and I really like 2-racks Reapers, but I find on Daybreak it's a little hard to utilize them because you're forced, like the area that you can sort of abuse the cliffs, if we look outside the entrance to the base, the natural to the main, like there's just not a lot of areas, and Zerglings Queens will clean them up very quickly. But in general, I do like Reapers versus Zerg. You can get in there, trade some blow for blow pretty quickly, and until speed's on the field, there's just really no way to shut them down.
Yeah, they kind of get to have their way with it, and Suda actually not even going with speed just yet. He didn't have that gas early enough to be starting it, but sometimes we see it this early. And the Bunker actually going down from Morrow as he's got the Marine out. Just because he wanted to prove me wrong, but is he going? Well, yes, indeed.
It's an intelligent... It's a really intelligent choice to have the Bunker down, because when you go CC first, it's whatever. But when you go CC first and get scouted, you have to assume your Zerg opponent's going to punish you. Whether it's with Roaches, Banelings, some sort of all-in, you need this Bunker down.
Very true. And so far, so he's just taking advantage of the fact that he can drone up. He's got his Queens out there, the injects, and not taking a third yet, although he very well could.
And yeah, there comes the Roach Warren. So Snute looking to punish Morrow a little bit here for going for that early command center. It's not going to be the easiest thing to do. I mean, the thing is, don't even count Widow Mines. You know, that's a new thing to Heart of the Swarm. Punishing this in general with Roaches when there's a Bunker up is not the easiest thing to do, because SCVs, yeah, you'll pick off a lot of SCVs in the process, but they're going to repair that Bunker all day.
Yeah, and this is going to be rough for Morrow too, because he's going with that double reactor Hellion and third command center. The Hellions do not do much more than tickle Roaches as they retreat against them across the map.
The advantage they have over Roaches in the early game, though, you have to keep in mind is the fact that Roach speed is not going to be available, and while you might not be able to take the Roaches head-on, you might be able to force them back home to defend the drones, because, I mean, 3 Hellions in your drone line, man, that is so scary. Grandmaster, Silver League, doesn't matter, you don't want it to happen.
Barbecue drones, no.
I like the follow-up of... Good. I really like the follow-up of 2 Widow Mines too, because what the 2 Hellions does is it produces a threat, like I said, might force Snute to come back home, but having the Widow Mines at home as well will be very defensive against these Roaches. Now, Widow Mines don't one-shot Roaches, but the splash damage they do will help this Bunker clean up immensely.
Yeah, and actually Morrow does manage to catch the Roaches as they're coming towards him, through the Zelnaga there, and Snute tries to track him down, but Morrow just kind of swings around to find out whether the third is there or not. But we have a lot of roaches moving their way across the map, 12 so far.
Yeah, and again, with the two Widow Mines nicely positioned here on the bunker, a Marauder trying to get out. If he can get that Marauder in the bunker, he's going to be good to go. Might have to lift his command center in a worst case scenario, but he's not in danger of actually like losing.
This is a great angle as soon as taking, though, and good pull by Morrow. So far not losing anything at all. Widow Mine 1 goes off. Widow Mine 2 gets a roach.
Oh, Morrow's got to repair that bunker, though. He's not repairing it, or... Roaches, though, are being subdued quite nicely by that Marauder, I must say.
So far, Morrow's lost just about nothing.
Well, the thing is, Snute, he can't... While he's not doing damage right now, Morrow can't mine. And if you're going to deny mining, it's just as good as killing off some workers and forcing a liftoff.
Yeah, and at the same time, he's taking his third, so this is really great for him. And he's also gone ahead and started the lair behind this and is just about to finish it. We may see him continue to tech while his opponent's on one base.
And actually, the kiting for these Marauders combined with the Hellions very nicely starting to pick away at these roaches. And again, this is a lot of lost mining time. I don't mean a little bit. I mean, these SCVs are chilling here doing nothing.
This has been over a minute now, and finally, as the Widow Mines come over, everything does get cleaned up. Morrow, fantastic job, really, though, as far as the resources actually lost, the potential resources he could have gained, you know, just like you were saying, that's hugely important. But now a bunch of mules coming down.
5 mules coming down.
Oh, jeez, income goes out of control for Morrow.
6 mules even, my bad. That is gonna be some skyrocketing income here, guys, in just a second. Yeah, overtaking a 3-base Zerg. Mules are pretty cool units.
They are. We got the Spore Crawler coming down first from Snute as far as static defense goes, and, well, no real surprise there as the medevac boost we've seen ever since the beta, like, just is so fun for Terran.
You call it fun, I will be willing to admit that it's abusive. I'm a Terran player, of course, and even I gotta say, some situations, it's just absurd. There needs to be, I don't know, like a ramp up or a ramp down, but like just that, bam, instantly, like on crack, moving medevacs are just so impossible to deal with.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that is the one thing that even Terran agree on is that, yeah, it probably should be nerfed, but well, as long as it's there.
It's like Protoss the Great Void Rays might be a little bit too strong. It's just like a universal truth more than an opinion. But these roaches, uh-oh. Morrow getting caught in a little bit of a bad position. He's got to pick up and get out of here.
And he's about to be scared by these overlords coming in. He has no idea whether those are loaded up or not. Yeah, he's got to turn around.
Oh man, the bunker at the natural was salvaged. This could be a huge mistake coming out of Morrow.
Well, the Roach is even going for the main, too.
That last supply depot, he does not lift it, and now Morrow's forced to fight with a very paltry Force Ord.
He's going to have to pull pretty much every SCV that he's got. Overlords coming in here, completely distracting the Marines, even though they don't have anything in them. SCVs are getting involved, and more Roaches are coming up from behind. He may be able to contain this in the main, but there's going to be some damage that he takes down in the expansion area. He's also been supply blocked for a lot of this, but...
Morrow is just losing so many workers through this, or 27 and climbing. Snute has done a lot of economical damage with this attack, because you got to keep in mind, Morrow doesn't have that third base up.
He's got that third command center that still has mules on it, enough for 2 of them actually, so if he can stabilize, he's still got a shot, but he's got to play a pretty defensive game, and or the most awesome harass we've ever seen.
As a really strong Roach Push command of our Zerg player, but the reality is, I think he just may have done a little too much. Losing all the Overlords, committing like that, we now see him even supply blocked. I'm not sure the... I guess it was distraction tactics, however you want to phrase it, is a weird choice to incorporate the Overlord push with that. Because I don't believe he has dropped research. No, he doesn't, so... I don't know what's going on with that order.
It's interesting. If he had like arrived before these extra racks were thrown down and had managed to creep up the entire base like it looked like he may have been thinking to do, that would have been really bad for Morrow because he would have had to put his racks out in a forward position where they could have been picked off later quite easily by more Roaches.
Well, you want to talk about getting picked off by Roaches? The bunker here, sadly at the third base, Widow Mine not in range to hit any of this. Luckily the command center is only on the way. It hasn't been landed, but this is a lot of Roaches to deal with. I don't know that
Stimming in from behind comes Morrow with the other medevacs, though. The bunker does go down, but Roaches are going to have to retreat against his Bioforce.
Oh, and if only he had Concussor Shell right now, he would catch a couple more Roaches.
Well, Snute just decides to donate them.
works just as well, I guess. Lifting up and boosting. He's going to probably try and drop on top of the roaches, but he has to be careful because there are reinforcements on the way.
It's so rude.
Hydralisk.
And he does catch him.
Nice. 18 health on that last one. Morrow desperately actually manages to pick off one more roach, a single roach surviving, the veteran of that war. Meanwhile, though, Morrow across the field now looking to be a bit aggressive. I don't know that I like this choice, Ord, because Snute, he's got Hydras, he's got roaches, and he's got a lot of them.
He does. Morrow's really got to turn around. He's pretty far on creep here. This is so dangerous. Yeah, he picks up what he can and gets out.
Nicely done there. I gotta say, like, there's no way he could afford to take that fight. Oh no, this medevac! What's it doing? The Hydralisk is just gonna kill it? Morrow! What are you doing?
Doesn't care about it at all.
Okay, it is on the way home.
Finally, there he goes with the boost. Meanwhile, though, fourth base is going up for Snute, who now controls most of the map.
Yeah, and these overlords still hanging out with the army now. I think if I had to guess, I mean, we saw him drop creep last time. I mean, it gives a huge movement bonus, and that's always great to have. But at the cost of all the overlords, there's a huge mineral sink last time. I would hope that it doesn't happen again.
Agreed. It is interesting, though, because even though Morrow saw that all those overlords came in, he saw that they probably had the drop capability, he doesn't have any protection over here against it with missile turrets or marines that are even vaguely close.
Man, the upgrades are going to play a huge factor in this next fight, as Morrow is on 2-2 to the 1-1 of his opponent. But Hydralisk damage, man, even without upgrades, is still a lot.
And this overlord speed, Snute is really using...
Gets him in. A lot of free scouting.
Yeah, he knows everything that his opponent's doing, but we got
look
this
at the pre-split. Snute gonna have a great concave here on Morrow's forces. And both players choosing to disengage. I think both of them gonna realize that they've got alright armies, but nothing that's gonna win them this fight decisively. But now Morrow has his reinforcements. Snute also with some more Hydralisks in the back.
Tank is very important, and Morrow started that +3/+3 immediately. He knows he needs to maintain that advantage. Shells come down, and Snute has to back up even more, but really it just gives him a better concave.
Yeah, Morrow's got to be careful. I mean, the siege tank's going to help. Oh no! He's going to actually get baited back a little bit away from the tank. Roaches will move up and clean it up. Now he's got the Hydras to deal with, and he doesn't have the units to do this. Morrow needs to get out. He needs to get out.
Doing a decent amount of damage, though. Snute didn't target down the medevacs, and so Morrow does manage to get out with more of his army than I thought he was going to, because he was backed up against that wall. But we're looking at an almost maxed Zerg to 137 supply now for Morrow. Snute is filling up with some Zerglings, probably to try a run-by to the north.
Well, really big thing you have to consider is Hydralisks, while they are light units, they don't really have a direct counter, like that's not a Colossus, because siege tanks don't do a lot to them due to the light armor, and you're forced to just try and overpower them with sheer units. And Morrow, for the most part, just doesn't have that unit count.
Oh, and now Morrow's going for a Doom Drop at the same time that he scouts the fact
ship
that
drop
Snute
this
is
time?
coming in for the attack. Oh, this is not going to
nice
be
Widowmine
good.
hits.
Tank is able to do a lot of damage on the choke point here with just 2 shells even so far, but such nice micro there.
The Hydras are on the front lines, so it's the big problem for this, so they're getting picked off by those Marines. Roaches should be tanking for them, and I gotta say, I think Morrow can hold with the production he has at home, while Snute is sacrificing everything.
Yeah,
Only brutally
is
Snute
down.
to his defense.
The additional reinforcement of the tank on the high ground, Marines and Marauders popping out all the time. Snute is slowly but surely going to get worn down, while there's really nothing protecting Snute's expansion either. He's losing so much of his tech structure. He can't make roaches, he can't make Zerglings, he can only make Hydralisks right now.
Yeah, I mean, 9 Marines at a time are going to get absolutely crushed by what Snute has, but as you said, it's going to whittle away, wear him down, and eventually it'll be 1 Hydralisk versus this drop force that Morrow still has on the field.
Oh, and a stim in there. Some Overlords again out of position. Not really likely to supply block too soon, though.
Well, I don't think he has to worry about supply block at the moment, as he doesn't have capabilities to reproduce. Queen desperately trying to transfuse. Snute evacuating the base to his last hatchery.
Finally does kick in.
And the big thing is, we look at this other base from Morrow, and he's still got a bunker here. He's still got some stuff. I think when this comes down to killing bases, Morrow's going to win this, but this is so many Hydralisk Ord, and I don't know that Morrow can take this on unless he gets his forces home now.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to bring that medevac back quick.
Yeah, oh, there's a lot of Queens and Hydras here. This last base too. The final boss being revealed for Morrow as he desperately tries to take this fight, losing some medevacs to those Hydralists. Oh, that's really going to hurt him. Meanwhile, Snute somehow at home for Morrow is going to do a ton more damage, and I think Ord, I hate to say it, but I think Morrow somehow lost this.
I really did think he was going to be okay with all the medevacs and everything there, but the drones were pulled at a great time. Some fantastic transfuses out of the Queens, and Morrow's force that looked so superior out in the field just melted away.
Yeah, I mean, resources lost, it's really high for both players, but the reality of it is Morrow has just not a lot left on the field, whereas Snute does. Now, he's picking up some small amounts of Hydras. I like that choice. Again, no concussive shell really hurting him here.
Very true, and all of these units are really injured. The medevac with all of 1 energy right now. Planetary, though, at the
Planetary may just save him in this game. Hydralists are light units. They're going to get fried by this Planetary. He's got to repair it right now, or though he can't afford to not.
Oh, GG.
Oh, man. That was getting pretty precarious, but at the end there, as we see the Planetary, when it's your only line of defense, you're probably out of the game.
Probably more than likely. I kind of wanted to see him just destroy all of the Hydralists with that Planetary. But ladies and gents, thanks for tuning in. This has been BaseTradeTV.